Wow, this filter just shouts quality. Hidom, whatever. It's robust, it's trustiness, it's quiet and safe, energy saving and high efficiency. This has a black sponge included. Excellent. According to this, that seems to see it's 2,000 litres. Okay. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, well, here we go. It's a 30 watt, I don't know where they get the efficiency from, 1,600 litres an hour, so it's the same as an FX4 flue valve, and it's for aquariums up to 350 litres for what looks like a sponge filter. Guys, sponge filters shouldn't be in tanks more than 100 litres in my opinion, purely because it takes them so long to suck out all the rubbish. But you can use it as, I mean, it's basically a power head with a bit of sponge filter on it. So I'm going to open the box and we're going to have a look. I mean, I've heard these guys a lot, so I'm kind of interested to see how they work out. Well, I gather it comes from one of our Oriental friends. Now, in the box, you get two of these. One obviously goes on top of the other, like so. You get a power head, which I have to say weighs about the same as a small moon. And as you can see, it can pump from here in, from here in. We're interested in this, of course, so I'm hoping we can block this off. Oh, and yes, we have a selection of bits. That, I'm assuming, is going to go in there. Yeah, there you go. So now we're just pumping through this and through this. At the moment, all you've got in here is a piece of sponge. And because it's got holes all the way down, it's just going to suck all the way through. There's not actually any flow to this. It's just going to suckle through all that. This would be actually ideal if you could hollow out the sponge and put media all the way down the middle. That I would like to see, but we'll have a look at that. You get a piece of airline tube, which is obligatory with Oriental style filters and absolutely useless. There you go. There's your bits and pieces. So you can actually adjust the flow on there. Very nice. And suckers, which I'm not convinced that they're going to hold this on the side of your tank. Well, at least it slides off, so you can actually slide it off to maintain it. But we'll have a look at that in a minute. I'm going to have a look at the impeller. Let me get that stripped down and we'll have a look at that as well. Okay, well, it's easy to clean. Literally twist and turn, that comes off. And this comes out really easy. The quality of that, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's, you know, the same as many. But it's a metal shaft, so it's going to rust, so be careful. Okay, look, I'm going to put this all back together and get you some kind of operation to see where we are. This is a part of the sort of £20 filter range, which is what I want to look at, purely to get an idea of what's out there and for what's, you know, to use. I mean, I wouldn't use this in a small tank at all. I mean, this is the same size, same height as a flue valve 4, which is nearly, it's nearly a foot long or 30 centimeters. So, okay, let's get it going. I'm going to put it in the tank. We'll see what it looks like. Just a side note, I've just literally, you twist that a quarter turn and it comes out. And yes, that's all it is. It looks like a 30 pores per inch black sponge. If it had a hole in it, I would put it in there and then put loads of media in it. Okay, well, look, you know, if you think about it, that's a sponge filter. That's a sponge filter. That's bigger than that. All right. Okay, well, let's have a look, shall we? Okay, that's it in the tank, and as you can see, it's quite mammoth. This is the Roma 240. And the lead only goes down to there, which is kind of awkward. So I don't know, I'm going to power it. Yeah, you'll have to put that in the very far corner. Now I'm just doing this for display purposes, obviously. We want to see how it works out. And I've got it in the cichlid tank. So we're going to power it up as soon as I can find a way of powering it up, and I will show you the flow and what I think on it. Okay, so it is on. It is kind of noisy, all right. Now I've turned off the 407, so that's not working at all, okay. And what I'm going to do is raise this up now to give it some surface agitation. But at the moment, I'm quietly impressed. Look at this over here, look. Yeah? That's a 4-foot tank, 120 centimeters away. And that is really messing with the flow, okay? I'm going to put this in there so you can actually hear. Yeah? That's what, I mean, the vibration is quite a lot. Okay, let me raise it up a little bit more and have another look. Okay, yes, it does sound like a power station, but the flow coming out of this is quite immense. Let me raise this up a bit. Look at this other side, look. Okay. Even the fish are loving it, look at that. Okay. Now, it's not a great filter, I've got to be honest, okay, and I've had to raise it up, but look, it's still, I don't know, 40 mil, maybe a couple of inches below the water line, and it's really messing with the water. Now I've turned off my main filter just for the second, so you're not getting anything from that. So all this is being done by this. Look at that. That is a lot of flow. But it's a 30 watt. I'm quietly impressed. I mean, it's noisy. I mean, obviously I'm going to lower it down. Let's lower it down. It's still got tons of flow there. Now, these sort of filters, these cheaper filters, they do tend to quieten down a bit. But I can tell you now, that is pushing a hell of a lot of power. You could use this, put a pipe on the end, and actually dump the water out of this very quickly. Very quickly indeed. Okay, so let's do a summary in a second. Okay, so here in the fish room, what do we think? I wouldn't use this to filter or solely filter a tank more than 100 litres, and you couldn't use it in a tank smaller than 100 centimeters or 3 feet, purely based on the fact that whatever you do with this, it is going to churn up everything. Use this in sand, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Although I think you'd only use this, to be honest, as a backup. It really does move water. You know, the power head alone is worth the money. Forget this. The power head alone you could use to pump water out your tanks. You could use it for anything. It's certainly not energy saving. It's certainly not quite robust. Not really. These things I can pull apart with my fingers. In fact, in the tank here, I've had to balance it on some rock just to stop it falling off. Black sponge included. I don't know why that's a feature, but if you had a sponge with a hole in it, you could double the capacity or the biological capacity of that. It'd be fantastic. So all in all, what do we think? No bio balls inside. Well, that's good, because plastic has no place in a filter. Okay, so what do we think? £20? Yes, it is worth the money. But again, I just noticed something. Pure copper wire. Oh, that's good. Pure. Okay, so yes, I would probably still double your budget. £40. Go and get yourself a Fluval U series, can't go wrong, or an E-Heim pickup. Again, you can't go wrong with that. Well done, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care.